All right, how we doing, everyone? All right, I'm gonna ask again, because hold on, it's Sunday night, the 20th Annual FODfest, so I'm gonna ask again, how are y'all doing? FODfest, Friends of Danny Festival, honors the life of Wall Street Journal reporter Daniel Pearl, who was abducted and brutally murdered by extremists while on assignment in Pakistan shortly after 9/11. In addition to being an extraordinary reporter, Danny was a superbly talented musician. A classically trained violinist and mean bluegrass fiddler, Danny met singer-songwriter and producer Todd Mack in Atlanta in 1991. They put a band together and became fast friends up until Danny's tragic and untimely death. They shared a fervent belief in the power of music to connect people.
Danny started his journalism career right here in North Adams at the North Adams Transcript. He then went to the Berkshire Eagle before taking his first job with the Wall Street Journal in Atlanta, which is actually where he and I met. A few years after he was murdered, I was just sort of looking for a way to respond to the hate and the violence that took his life, and tapped into the only thing I knew, which was music and our shared belief in music to connect people, despite differences and cross divides. And so I threw this backyard party that Joanne just referenced, and it was literally that. And there were maybe 40 or so people there, a dozen or so musicians playing, people just kind of hanging out. And it was a really beautiful, kind of cathartic event. And I just kept doing it, and within a couple of years it was touring, and by 2009 it was touring internationally and all over the United States. It's toured in the Middle East, it's toured in the Far East, and sometimes it's big, huge festival stages, and sometimes it's really small coffee houses. We've done them in bomb shelters, olive groves, every place imaginable this concert has happened in, and what we try to do everywhere we do it is sort of recreate the feeling of being in a backyard.
I'm the big TK from the big GAF 5fest. I'm feeling odd, yes, I said God bless, and I might attest, but this isn't a crime, so no, you can't arrest. I'm like, okay, from the big GA, got the rhymes in time, they make you go replay what he say and she say, but we relate. You already know just how we do it.
As Danny traveled the world on assignment for the Journal, he'd often bring his violin and find local jam sessions to sit in on as a way of immersing himself in the local community. Even if he didn't speak the language, which he often didn't, this was his way of learning about where he was, the people who lived there, and their culture.
As FODfest sort of grew, it became clear to me like that was the model of what I wanted to do with this, which is why we started touring in the first place. There's probably close to 150 musicians that are participating in it during the course of the 10 stops. And every night it's a new cast of people. Trey and I, we live in Atlanta. We're strangers in a strange town every night. And yet we're always welcomed. And so that's sort of the spirit of this. So often musicians don't know each other. They're meeting on stage for the first time, swapping songs, helping each other out. As much as possible, I'd love for us all to be on stage together. That doesn't mean you have to be playing. The whole point of FODfest is sort of breaking down that traditional barrier between audience and artists, and we're just trying to create a space. And even just actively listening from the stage is a very powerful act.
I want to just say, first of all, I want to give a big thanks to the band that's been scrambling to familiarize themselves with your material. Tonight is really about the idea of music as a force for bringing people together. As my dear friend Wanda says, it's a whole lot of crazy.
It's a whole lot of crazy, baby. Just keep rolling.
But that's just keep going with it. And really, it is about the spirit of what we're doing tonight.
listening to your talk, you just have impressed the hell out of me. You know, Danny's death was devastating to so many of us, and you found light, and you made light, and you kept making light, and that is an amazing accomplishment.
When you started this, would you have any idea you'd be doing this so many years later?
That's a great question. I think that when I first did it, it was really as a very simple act of celebrating my friend's birthday.
Right.
I felt compelled, maybe even called to do something.
Okay.
Maybe something bigger than my backyard. I just didn't know what, though.
Right.
I really had no idea. But now, 20 years in the rear view, I kind of can see what that thing was.
From its humble beginnings as a backyard jam, FODfest evolved into Music in Common, a globally serving nonprofit organization that curates experiences for people across social divides to find common ground through facilitated conversation and music. At our core, we hold high two foundational principles. It is hard to hate up close, and music can change the world. To date, Music in Common programs have served more than 10,000 people in over 400 communities worldwide.
What a wonderful way to remember and honor Daniel.
Yeah, thank you.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get it in. Let's do it. Yeah. I'm Danny on 3. 1, 2, 3. Danny!